Good afternoon, guys, and happy Friday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, it is late. I actually had anticipated going to bed way earlier. It's 1 o'clock, guys. Way earlier than this. It's actually up at like 9:30 again today, which, again, considering I've actually been falling asleep so late like this whole week, I haven't woken up ridiculously late, with the exception of, I think, at the beginning of the week. But guys, the good thing is that last week was when I had the whole problem with my PayPal account or whatever ended up getting unauthorized transactions, or I think that's what it's called, something like that. Unauthorized payments were being made through my PayPal account, and it actually got resolved today, which is awesome, which happened just about a week ago, or I guess they technically did it last night, but I checked this morning and it was all set. So that was good. And the thing was too, though, it was like, I think maybe even either last Friday or last Saturday, I think it ended up happening, and that's when I noticed it. And that was kind of what started off my whole week bad, because I think it was Saturday night, and then Sunday I ended up going to bed so late Saturday. I had to get up so early Sunday, and then my whole day Sunday was just kind of a bust because I got like no sleep at all. And then I was kind of like recovering Monday and almost even Tuesday, and then I started to get a little bit better, but I still haven't been going to bed early at all, which isn't good. But the Cubs game did run a little late anyway, or I guess not super late, but I think they started at 8 and they weren't honestly done until like maybe close to midnight or so. Anyway, they were in Arizona, so it's a time change, difference and everything. But actually, me and Jack at the end of the game, because I think they ended up winning 8-3 or something like that. But at the end of the game, me and Jack were actually, because Jack was like, "Kayla, will you please come outside and help me go and get my," he needed to go get his bag out of the car, and he needed my flashlight, because he needed to go get his bag that had his phone in it that was out in the trunk, and he didn't have any lights, or, flashlight or anything, because he normally uses his phone to go see. I was like, "Jack, we have flashlights." He's like, "Yeah, but can you just come with me?" Like, I think he was just scared to go outside by himself. So I was like, fine. So I went outside with him and got his stuff, came back in, and I was like, "Okay, but you have to do something for me." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "You have to read me a story." It's literally what I told him, guys. I actually made him read one of the H.P. Lovecraft stories we read. I have no clue which one it was now. I don't remember. I think it was, is it called Dagon or something like that, which was one of his, like, I don't know if it was his earlier work, but I think like it was one of the first ones, I think, related to the, like, what's it called, the Cthulhu mythos or something like that. So that was like one of the earlier ones, I guess. At least from what I was reading. And so me and Jack were like talking about it afterwards and discussing it, because it's kind of hard, like, even to, like, I don't know, I guess I, like, not took for granted high school, but like I almost feel like it did help kind of prepare me a little bit, because now I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not like I like love literature or anything like that, but I feel like school did give me, like, I guess, the correct tools in order to analyze and understand, like, books and things like that, and literature like that, because we actually ended up reading the one H.P. Lovecraft story, and I found some similarities to not exact similarities, but like some parallels, I guess, a little bit, to The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. And Edgar Allan Poe, like, was a big inspiration for H.P. Lovecraft, and I guess he ended up saying that. That's what I've read a lot about as well, was that he was, like, very much inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's work. And so I remember reading A Telltale Heart in, like, I think 8th grade. So I was like, "Jack, did you read that?" Like, I guess he's actually only going into 7th grade. I was thinking he was going into 8th grade. But, I was asking him, like, "Oh, have you read it?" He was like, "Well, I think we read, like, The Raven or whatever one that one was by Edgar Allan Poe." And I was like, "Okay, well, then why don't I read that one to you?" So I actually read it. I don't have the book, but I actually had it online. I just read it off. It was like Edgar Allan Poe's works or something like that online. And so I was able to read that, and I read that to Jack, and I was like, you know, like we were kind of comparing and stuff like that. I feel like it's a lot of the same stuff that you do in school. And I also felt like it was good too because Jack, I mean, he is a really good reader though. He actually read the H.P. Lovecraft, which I find really difficult to even read too because there's a lot of like older English and like classic literature more kind of, and I think I told you guys that too. It's not like Shakespearean, but it's still like, you know, what is it, 1920s or so works that is a lot, you know, difficult words and stuff like that, and you know, it's more, I guess, you know, like adult reading kind of. But for Jack, he actually is like very advanced reader and everything, so I was like, why don't you try it out? And you know, so he was actually doing pretty well, and we got to the point where like we understood, you know, like the premise of the story, and then I went over afterwards and kind of like not spark notes, but kind of I think I've read like Wikipedia or something like that, just like the summary plot, so that we understood, like, you know, so that we could get the gist of the story, I guess. Because again, but there's so many words in there that you're like, okay, wait, I gotta, you know, use this word to figure out what this word means, but I don't know that word, you know, that whole thing that, again, they teach you in school on how to do and stuff. But I was, like, even I was having difficulty. Like I told you guys, the one time I ended up reading it, and then I'll go back over and, like, look up, like, discussions or something like that about the book afterwards. Just because, again, it is, for me, I find even almost, like, difficult sometimes. But then we ended up reading, like I said, The Telltale Heart, and I read that one out loud to Jack, and he was like, wow, that's such a cool story and everything like that, because it wasn't super long, maybe like 10-15 minutes or something like that. But, like, you know, and then we used that kind of parallel. So I was like, it's kind of, it is good. Like, school did teach me some things. I mean, granted, there wasn't any need for me to do this right now. You know, it wasn't like I had to write some, like, I had to write a story, or I had to review this book or something like that, like a work-related thing or whatever. So I guess it's not technically preparing me for the real world. It was more recreational, but it was still, I used those tools that I picked up in school, and I'm teaching Jack how to do that too, because I feel like, again, reading that Edgar Allan Poe story when I was in middle school, and then reading the H.P. Lovecraft now, I have noticed some parallels, and I think it's really cool because I like reading the H.P. Lovecraft, and you know, I can tie some of that stuff back to the Edgar Allan Poe stuff that I read when I was in middle school. So I think it has helped me maybe a little bit in life, just because, again, it's something I enjoy doing as recreational. It's not like it's, you know, like I said, like work related or anything like that, but it is, like, again, something that, again, school I think kind of helps you with, even though I don't know how much I really, with the exception of maybe math every once in a while, I don't honestly like, and again, maybe some stuff in like history, but I don't know how much on a daily basis I really end up using a lot of the stuff that I use in, like, that was taught in school. Yeah, but anyways, guys, I am just kind of rambling on here. We did have football practice today, but it was a lot easier. It was kind of just like a walkthrough. The kids just wore their helmets and shoulder pads, no pads, any extra pads or anything like that they had to have for today. So it was just like a walkthrough. They did offensive play walkthrough, and then they ended up playing, I think it's called like Navy ball. Matthew called it something else, like rat-tat or something. I don't even know what he was saying. Something like that they call it. It's almost like ultimate frisbee kind of. And then they ended up just doing a little bit of conditioning work after that. So that was pretty much the extent of the day, and yeah, that was pretty much football. But I woke up early, a little bit earlier today, and I actually got my work done before I ended up going to football practice. But then when I came home, I made my grocery list. I don't think we're going tomorrow because my dad has some stuff to do tomorrow. We'll probably go on Sunday again. We are going to, I think, Menards and Office Depot. Regardless, though, I just wanted to finish my list up tonight, and I knew that I was going to do that after football. But then me and Jack got all carried away with our reading stories, things like that. So yeah, anyways though, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.